Buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. Today I wanted to break down a quote, and the quote is the following: Never believe that you're better than anybody else, but remember that you're just as good as everybody else. I want to break down this quote. This is a really interesting quote, and different athletes struggle with different parts of this quote. First, I want to address the athletes that struggle with the second part of the quote. Remember that you're just as good as everybody else. And that is the part of the quote that is difficult for most athletes to come to grips with. And so if that's you, I have a couple of questions for you. Why is it that you struggle with believing that you are just as good as everybody else? I think there could be a couple of reasons for that. I'm going to address the first reason and get that one out of the way pretty quick here. You believe that the other athletes that you train and you compete with are more talented and have better ability than you. I have a couple of questions for you. And again, just self-reflection, just putting it back on you to work through this on your own. How much talent do you possess? How much ability do you possess? How much talent does this particular athlete or athletes that you are thinking about, how much talent and ability do they possess? Can you quantify that? Can you put a number to that? Most of the time, when you really actually dig, the answer to that is no. You really can't quantify talent. I'm going to take an example of cyclists. There is a measure that we can do in a lab. We can set people up to all these kinds of different machines, and it's called VO2 max. Now, when you put somebody up to that and you measure their VO2 max, they're going to come out with a number. You can say that a person with a higher number is more talented or has greater ability than the person with the lower number. Here's my question though. How long has that person been riding for? What kind of training have they been doing? You can start asking a bunch of different questions, and all of those things factor into a VO2 max number. So can you really, truly get down to the ground floor and quantify talent? And the answer is no, you can't. So I would challenge those of you that look at other athletes and put them up on a pedestal as more talented and possessing more ability than you. I would say that maybe you need to challenge that thought and not necessarily look at it that way. Here's a second reason, though, why some people may have trouble with that second part of the quote. Remember that you are just as good as everybody else. You're not putting forth maximum effort. You're not giving your best. And if that's you, then that does have some merit to it, and that does have some validity. Because if you're not giving your best, then it's really actually not fair to even try to compare yourself to other athletes. Because you're not doing everything you can to be your best, and maybe they are. So are they better than you? No, you haven't given your best yet to even be able to give it a respectable run. I use the analogy of just putting two people in a ring, and you want your best version of yourself to be in that ring against your opponent, against your competitor, against that other athlete. And if you're still not giving your absolute best every single day in training and in competition, then it's really not fair to size yourself up. So are you giving your best? Here's the last thing I want to end on. The athletes that you see as more talented, possessing more ability, giving more effort, athletes that you don't feel you compare and you size up against, let me tell you something. Those athletes, they can apply the first part of the quote. And that part is, don't think that you're better than anybody else. They respect you. They respect you more than you respect yourself. They know that on any given day, they could lose to you. And here's the reason why they know that. Because just as they have come across this whole thing of giving their absolute best to get to a certain level, they know that if you figure that out, the competition just got that much stiffer. And all of a sudden, your performance will be elevated. And now all of a sudden, they have somebody on the radar that they need to respect. And they respect everybody because that can happen. All it takes is a simple mind switch. So I challenge you. Do you believe that you are just as good as everybody else? If you do and you begin to carry yourself that way, you will be amazed at how your performance will begin to take off. I hope you guys are enjoying these Mayito Minutes. I hope you're getting something out of them. Again, don't just consume the content. Answer these questions to yourself. Journal about these questions. Write down your answers. Begin to keep a little bit of a log so that you can begin to enjoy some success. Guys, got the Facebook page, Utmost Performance. I would love for you to go give it a like and share it with others. I've also got the podcast up on iTunes. Search A Champion's Mind, and it'll be there for you to listen to. I would love for you to download some of those episodes and rate that in iTunes so we can get me up on that new and noteworthy section. Again, I say me, but it would be we. It would be a collective thing. I can't enjoy success without you guys, and actually, I really want you on the journey anyways, so come along with me. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.